According to the Turkish president, Turkey is beating record after record in terms of growth and exports. It's emerged from the pandemic stronger than before and is rising in world rankings. Unlike England, Turkey is not suffering from gas shortages and no one is lining up to eat like in France. This is how Recep Tayyip Erdogan describes his nation's economy. But at this fish market in Istanbul, his grand statements ring hollow.
In Europe, people reportedly look for food in the trash. That's what our president says anyway. Well, he should come here and see the real population to see how life is going for the Turkish middle class. Because there is no Turkish middle class anymore. That's how it's going.
People's buying power has diminished. We can see our clients are short on cash. So for us, work is definitely more difficult.
The Turkish lira has lost 18% of its value since the beginning of the year, making it the worst performing emerging market currency in the world. Official figures report inflation accelerated at its fastest pace in 2.5 years in September. The real estate market is also hit, with the opposition-led municipality claiming average monthly rent prices climbed 66% during the pandemic, with no signs of slowing down.
Today, this property is on the market for a monthly rent of about 7,500 liras, 8,000 liras. So that's about 750 euros, 800 euros. But just 1 or 2 months ago, the rent here was 450 euros. The economic situation is having a strong impact on prices, and we expect them to continue to rise in the coming period.
Among the hardest hit are students. Their number has risen significantly with the opening of hundreds of new private universities across the country. Late September, dozens of them launched a movement to occupy parks and public gardens. The initiative, named We Can't Shelter, was quickly condemned by the Turkish president in a way that has become a recurring theme in his speeches.
Those that have set up camp in parks, gardens, and on benches these last few days, are they really students? They are terrorists who are coming from outside to spread terror, just like those at Gezi Park.
And you? Are you a terrorist?
He should come and see for himself in the streets, in the parks. Then, if he wants to continue calling us that, it's up to him.
Can Deniz is a 23-year-old law student. He shares a tiny one-bedroom suplex apartment and works as a waiter to pay his part of the rent.
I work at night as a waiter because I don't have the choice. In Turkey, there are millions of students like me who have to work even though jobs are scarce. Actually, that's the real problem. How can we study if we can't even find a job to pay our rent?
The Turkish paradox in a nutshell, as the country is beating records, its population is getting poor.
Gross numbers do not reflect what's happening in people's kitchens, nor in their wallets. There's an incredible difference between what people are experiencing and the official figures. What's important is income, what people earn. And in this regard, we can't talk about growth. Results are even lower than expected. Right now, we're in the red.
Recep Tayyip Erdogan's AKP was the party of youth, the future, and strong economic growth. 20 years later, and with the 2023 general election just around the corner, the president's position is more fragile than ever.